quick reflection on a strong one. It's Rivka Bat Chava. It's Barbara, and I hope she gets better, and with God's help, God should do miracles for all of us. She's very special. Very special person. Okay, just quick. I'm very excited to have everybody here. Wow, it's really exciting. Just schedule-wise, the next couple of weeks are good, except for the day after Purim. Okay, so if anybody, needs, you're welcome to come study on your own. You're welcome to go see other teachers. It's all good, but I just won't be here that day. So I think it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks? 3 weeks from today. Okay, so next week's here. Okay, I really prepared a lot today, and I'm excited that we're all here to learn Torah. And once again, I just want to tell you how impressed our student body is that the ladies come in to learn, and you're doing a tremendous mitzvah of chinuch. It's the best way to teach children, is to see that other people are coming to, who don't have to come. You don't get detention, you don't get attendance, so it's very nice. All right. I usually don't carry over from one week to the other, but I'm in the middle of something, so for those of us who were here last week, you can show off, you can give me all the answers. I'm just restarting again and then moving it further into this week's Parsha. Last week's Parsha was Parshat Yitro, and this week's Parsha is Parshat Mishpatim, and we're going to do both. Okay, so this first page, page number 1, and half of page number 2, we actually did last week. So the ladies who were here last week, give me 5 minutes just to get everybody up to date. Is that okay?
All right.
I'm going to go fast. And for those of you who weren't here, you should have been here. No. All right, here we go. So, of course, one of the highlights of Parshat Yitro, if not the highlight, is that it's Aseret HaDibrot, the 10 Commandments. And what we did last week was compared the Aseret HaDibrot that's written in Sefer Shemot. You'll see this on page 1. It says chapter 20 Exodus, as compared to where it says it in Devarim, which is repeated. Okay, I'll let you know when we're starting new, so you can wake up sort of like. Okay, here we go. So for those who weren't here last week, we took one of the Dibrot. We took the fourth Dibra, which is Shabbat. And there are 2 marked differences. Let me mention the one difference we did last week quickly and what we learned from it, then we'll do the new one. Everybody see on top? How does it start? How does the... Oh, it's not here. Okay. Zachor et Yom HaShabbat. Remember the Shabbat. And look at the one in chapter 5 in Deuteronomy. What does it say there? Shamar. So everybody knows that how many times did God actually give the Torah on Har Sinai? Once. So the question, of course, is which one did he say? Right? Which one did he say? Did he say Shamor or did he say Zachor? So again, this is all a repeat. So we explained last time. We can go to page 2. On top, it says, Shamor v'Zachor b'Zibur echad. Hashem said Shamor and Zachor even faster than some of our kids speak. He went, I don't know how he did that. He did it in one word together. Okay? So should we ask somebody who wasn't here last week? What would be God's message? Why is God doing that? He wrote all the other words straight out. Why would he go, what's the lesson? What does he want me to learn from that? Oh, you were here last week. No, yeah, okay. Right. They're inseparable. Same important. They must go together. Okay? Shamor v'Zachor Dibur Echad. Anybody who's part of Shamor is part of Zachor. Anybody who's part of Zachor is part of Shamor. Is everybody following me? I'm going fast because I did this last week. We're good. What does that mean? So it meant something very important for women, which I did last week, and then we'll do a new thing. Very important for women. What is the rule when it comes to women and mitzvot? Everybody knows the rule. Women are chayav. Okay, mitzvot are 613. Part of them, 248, are mitzvot aseh, right? Positive commandments. And 348 is what? Is negative, is lo taseh. Is a woman chayav and a lo taseh?
Yes.
Can you kill because you're a woman?
No.
It depends what the other person did, no? Right, you're not allowed. You're allowed to be jealous because you're a woman?
No.
Oh, I only got 2 people said that. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I said kill? No. Okay, yeah, you're not allowed to. How about an aseh? What's the rule about an aseh? Very good. Mitzvah aseh shazman grama. Anything that is controlled by time, women are patur. Do you have to sit in the sukkah?
No.
Do you have to put on tefillin?
No.
Do you have to... You're in the right stool. Do you have to put on talit? No, these are all zman grama. So you have to say Kiddush.
Yes.
This is my grandma. Well, what happened to the rule? Where's the rule? So you're going to tell me, it's nice. That only works for Hanukkah and Purim, because that's Mishrabanan. Something that the rabbis made up. The rabbis have a right to say, you're part of the miracle, you have to do it. This is the Oraita. Saying Kiddush is a mitzvah min Torah. That means the only power or person that can tell me that it's a Yotzei min HaKlal, that it's a Yotzei min HaKlal is a exception, is only whom? God has to say that. And where did God say it? Right here. He didn't say it. Where? Right here. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Everybody ready? Okay, this I asked last week again. Shamor v'zachor are two categories. Split Shabbat into two categories. Go. What you do and what you don't do. Very good. Do they fit the words Shamor and Zachor? They sure do. What does the word Shamor mean in English? Shamor, be careful, preserve, but be careful. Lishmor is to be careful. Be careful and do or don't do? Don't do. Zachor is to remember. To do. So Shamor and Zachor represents the two parts of Shabbat. Things we do and things we don't do. Do women have to do the parts that we don't do?
They have to be careful as well.
Do women have a right to drive a car on Shabbat?
No.
Because it's a lo taseh. Therefore, they have to do Shamor. Do they now have to do Zachor? Yes. Who said so? God did. When he said Shamor v'Zachor v'dibur echad. And therefore, a woman is chayav in Kiddush just like a man. On every mitzvah on Shabbat. Everybody got that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Was that too fast? I hope it wasn't too fast, because I did this already. The other underlying thing, which I said, it's the last thing I said last week, is something deeper. And I'm not going to scream about things that I got delayed. I have to delete it off the thing. I won't do it this week, because I don't have to delete. I'll do it some other time. Shamor v'Zachor means something else. Too many people in America and in modern society feel, you want a sheet? I don't know if there is any. Are we done? Are we done? Okay. You're about to sit here. People like to do Zachor. Who doesn't like to do Zachor? How many times do I have to look? I can't because I have a flip phone. But I look at Sefreda's phone and I see all these beautiful table settings for Friday night. Beautiful. We spend an enormous amount of effort on Zachor. We invite 1,000 people for Friday night. We build beautiful places. Fantastic. We love Zachor. Who doesn't love to eat Friday night? But you really can't turn on that TV. It's inappropriate. Now to be allowed to carry without an Eruv. You really can't do that in Aruba. You can't do these things. That's the Shamor. I'm not so comfortable with the Shamor. I like the Zachor part. The Shamor part is annoying. Doesn't work that way. Hashem said Shamor v'Zachor v'dibur echad. Shabbat has two parts to it. All the things that we do and the things that we don't do. And the things that we don't do are as important, if not more important, than the things that we do. We are teaching Hilchot Shabbat now to 9th and 10th graders. And once in a while, I get an eye roll. Borer is one of the 39 malachot. Oh, come on. It makes a difference if I take the chicken from the bones or the bones from the chicken? It does. It really does. And I can explain it to you, but that's not today's class. Are you kidding me? Like if I flip the switch, it makes a difference? If I check my email on Shabbat, it makes a difference? You can't go half-seas. I mean, do whatever you can. But it's not really the way it's supposed to be. Everybody got that message? Mm-hmm. Okay, we feel guilty enough. Let's move on. Now we're starting new. Everybody look at page 1. Back to page 1. There is a second difference. And it's blatant. And people might not know that there's a second difference between the first and the second. I'm sorry? Right, there it is. You got it. If somebody says to you, somebody who's never learned Torah, and says, tell me, why do we keep Shabbat? What's the reason? I'm assuming almost everybody in the room would jump up and say, because to remember that Hashem created. Not only remember, I'm testifying, right? That Hashem created the world. It's a testimony. This is what I do. It's a sign. Ki'oti, I'm walking around with a sign. I believe in God. Agreed. Where did you get that from? You did it very nicely. You got an A in Chumash in school. Ki, shake, you see it, and top. Ki sheshet yamim asa Hashem et hashemayim et haaretz, yada yada yada. That's why we keep Shabbat. Guess what? In Devarim, it doesn't give the same answer. And again, guys, we're not talking a guy who wrote a book. This is the guy who wrote the book. Okay. So the book says another reason. Look what it says. Shamor et yom HaShabbat l'kadsho. Very nice. V'zacharta, and in order for you to remember, you know this, ki eved hagita be'eretz Mitzrayim. We have to remember that there was Yitziat Mitzrayim. What does that event have to do with Shabbat? Really? That's why I keep Shabbat. That's to remember that historical fact that I'm not putting it down. I think it's a beautiful event. But why is that like the Shabbat thing? To hammer this home, look at Kiddush. This I did last week. Look at your Friday night Kiddush text on the bottom of 1. It says in Zikaron, third line. Zikaron lema'aseh. That's coming from Yitro. Yeah? Keep going, one more line. Next line. Zecher liyitziat Mitzrayim. So I see it's important. Why is that so important? That I have to remember that I left Mitzrayim. Turn the page. See, we are now up to the middle of the page where it says 6, where it says Anochi. Okay, this is new. This is very, very important what we're doing today, because I like saying that, so you feel good. Now, it's important. Do you know that Yitziat Mitzrayim is like, where's Waldo? It pops up every week. No, I'm serious. Almost any mitzvah we do, we go, Zechet Mitzrayim! Like, Zechet Mitzrayim! Kriyat Shema. We're supposed to say it twice, the last part, because you have to remember Yitziat Mitzrayim. Am I that dumb? How many times do I have to remember this? I know, I told my wife I love you once a day. I got it. I got it. I got the story. I know. We were in Mitzrayim and we left. I got a whole holiday to remember that. Why do we keep hammering this? It's a good question. I'd like to introduce you to something that blew my mind when I first learned it, and I like to say it often. Okay, is there a seat for this? All right, here we go. Number 5. You see where it says number 5? Number 5 is, come on, what is it? Describe it to me. What is it? It's the first Dibra. There's a sefer called the Sefer HaChinuch. Does anybody know what the Sefer HaChinuch does? What's the role of that sefer? I just heard it. Yafeh ma'od. Sefer HaMitzvot is a book that lists all the mitzvot according to the Parashiyot. By the way, it's a great book. It's in English. It's in Hebrew. They made it in English. If your child or you ever has to write a report about any mitzvah, the first place I would look is the Sefer HaChinuch. It's a great, great source. And he explains. So, he says the Aseret HaDibrot have mitzvot in them, right? Look at the first of the Aseret HaDibrot. Remember, this is the first thing of the 10 commandments that God is saying. First 3 words, I'm cool. What do you think is the first thing God should be saying? Yo, I'm God. Right? So, Anochi Hashem Elokecha. I am the Lord your God. Important, ladies? No? And if you look at the Sefer HaChinuch, and it's in English there, the commandment of belief in God. It's a belief that the world has one God and cause it to exist. Everybody good? Guess what? Here comes Waldo. In the first Dibra, I am the Lord your God, Asher. Oh, by the way, I took you out of the Mitzrayim. I didn't breathe yet. You're the Mitzrayim. What's the goal here? So Rashi gives a nice answer. I'm not pushing away Rashi, but listen to what the Sefer HaChinuch says. Are you ready? Please remember this. And 1, 2, 3, 4 lines from the top and the bottom. And its understanding is as if it said, no one believed that there is one God, yeah? And that's which is stated, 3 lines from the bottom. Who took you out. Who took you out is to say that your hearts not seduce you to take the matter of you leaving the slavery of Egypt and the place of Egypt as the way of happenstance, that's mikra, but rather you should know that I am the one who took you out. Let me explain what just happened. Girls, there are 2 levels in belief in God in the first Dibra. God exists. I think most Jews, if not all, maybe most people who are not atheists, ask them, Do you believe in God? The world just didn't happen, right? That's crazy, this Big Bang theories. There's a God. He created the world. Level 1. Level 2 is the real belief. What's God doing now?
Taking care of business.
Oh! People will say, he's busy. He's building other worlds. Do they believe that God is involved in our life? Things that happen in our life is because God is involved in what happens in little Tuli Besser. That's a much harder belief. And that is the essence of our belief in God. I've said this already, what I'm about to say, so listen again. Google 10 plagues. Go home and Google it. Of course, most of you don't have computers, so don't worry. Right? It's in the closet. Google 10 plagues. You will see sites that say they were natural occurrences.
Yes.
Google Kriyat Yamsuf. You will get theories that say Kriyat Yamsuf, natural occurrence. Earthquake. Yetziat Mitzrayim. God? Nothing to do with God. There was a frog infestation. I'm serious. Read it. Yes. Each one of the plagues has a natural understanding why it happened. God says, no, I made it happen, bro. And that's what the first Dibra says. And therefore, watch my thumb. Of all the mitzvot, one of the most important ones to believe that God runs the world is Shabbos. Tell a person, do you believe that God created the world? Yes. Is it important to show that you believe that on Shabbat? Don't go to work, don't put on things. But, give me the but. I gotta make a living. I always tell the story, I'm gonna say it again. When I first came to Flatbush, there were, again, this is not a judgment, it's just a fact. There were some who would go to work on Friday. They went to work, okay. So a person that I knew, agreed already to close on Shabbat, but it was the question of closing the store Friday early. Now, for those of you who have any concept, retail, Christmas week. Huge clothing store in the city. In order for it to keep Shabbat and get home on time, he has to close the store by 3, latest, 10. 4:10 is Shabbos. And he said to me, Rabbi Besser, I am looking at tons of people online waiting to pay at my 20 registers. I'm looking at 150,000 profit in the next 2 hours. You want me to get on the microphone in the store and say, hello, ladies and gentlemen, please drop the stuff. It's Shabbos. Do you know what kind of challenge that is, girls? I'm a lucky man. My school doesn't work on Shabbos. I actually do work on Shabbos, which is kind of funny because it's okay. I have seminar going this weekend, but I wasn't brought up. I wasn't brought up in a business world. I'm trying to imagine. What do you tell a person who wants to believe in God, but there's a practicality? He's got a mortgage. He's got orders to fill. What do we tell him? God runs the world, honey. That's Yetziat Mitzrayim. Keep Shabbos, because I'm going to take care of you. Don't worry. There's a very famous story where Salanta tells the story, that he was walking with a buggy or whatever, with a horse and carriage, and he sees an elderly man carrying a very heavy load. He goes, please, come here, let me help you out. So he puts him on the thing, and he sees the guy holding his bag. Like he didn't put it down on the carriage. He's holding his bag. So Rabbi goes, put the bag down. Like, why are you holding the bag? He goes, look, it was nice enough for you to give me a ride. You didn't have to give the bag a ride. That's how stupid this is. I remember, I'm going to say something a little strong, don't. A Rosh Hashiva once told me he had a conversation with somebody about this. It was a young man who was being the Chalel Shabbat in order to make money, in order to get married. So he goes, what are you doing? He said, Rebbe, I need to make money. He says, why? He says, because I want to find a wife and get married. And then He says, I want to have kids and be able to give them a house. And then I'll send them to good schools. He turns to the kid. It's a little strong, but it's worth it. He turns to this young man. He goes, who said you're going to find a wife? He goes, Chas v'sholom, Hashem will help. He says, who said she's going to have children? Chas v'sholom, Hashem will help. And who said they're going to grow up and be good and healthy? Hashem will help. He goes, one sec. So he's going to find you a wife. He's going to give you kids. And he's going to give you a house. You don't think he can throw some money in at the same time? So that's the goal. It's hard, but just saying Zikaron L'Maseh Bereshit is not sufficient. That's right. And that's why it's not Where's Walden. You know how many times we have to remember Yitzhak Mitzrayim? About 25 times a day. It's not remember the story. You guys with me? It's remembering the concept. Just to show you that, I don't have to prove that we're right, because look who's here. Obviously we're right. There's enough, you can turn the page. There's a nice little graphic. I don't know why some of the things come out like triple space and some of them come out like I can't read it, but that's the way it works. There's a beautiful custom. It's not only a custom, it's a mitzvah that we do on Friday night and Shabbos morning and Sudash Lishit and women are chayav. It says it there. What is it? It's called Lechem Mishnah. What is Lechem Mishnah? Everybody does it, right? 2 challahs on the table. We're good. Girls, again, this is not my issue today. Every mitzvah on Shabbat, women are chayav, just like men. You want to let your husband do the motzi? Fine, as long as you do the more important decisions, like we said, right? Do what you want with that, 100%. But let's say your husband is not home. You have to do Lechem Mishnah, 2 full chalot, like everybody else, okay? Even Shalosh Shudas, if you're going to eat Sudash Lish. Okay. Why 2? Good. I have to know my next question. Why are we doing it? What are we remembering with 2 chalot? We're remembering the man. Zecher Leman. Why? How are we remembering the man? Because the man fell a portion every day. Why, by the way, 1 portion? Do you know that they were not allowed to leave anything over? Why? Yafemo. Because if somebody gives me food, and he goes, I'll give you more tomorrow. We don't want to get too sad. We all know what happened during World War II. We don't have to discuss this. What did people do when they got their rations? Some of them hoarded it. Some of them saved it, because who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? So if God says, here's yours, I'll give you tomorrow. If I'm leaving some over, what am I doing? Not allowed to leave over. And if you left it over, it burned up. Why? Have faith. There's nothing in my refrigerator. Have faith. When didn't it fall? How am I going to make my masad if I don't have the store open on Shabbat? So what did God do? He gave twice as much on Friday. The only miracle in the midbar that we do every Shabbos. Why the only one? You know their clothing didn't what you call it? Their clothing didn't tear. So why don't we just not change for a year to commemorate that? Oh, okay. It also says that their shoes didn't tear. Don't tell a woman not to buy shoes. Yeah, I understand. Why this minhag? Why? Because this is the essence. When you come home Friday and you see 2 chalot on the table, you're remembering that not only did God create the world, but He runs the world. And therefore, just like He gave 2 chalot in 2 portions in the midbar, gives us 2 portions. This is not easy. This is not an easy belief. This goes across lines. I want to show you how far this goes. And this already I've said once. I want to show you Yetziat Mitzrayim pop up in something that you're going to tell me, why is it popping up? Take a look at chapter 19 in Vayikra. Lo tasu avod b'mishpat, b'midah, b'mishkal, b'msurah, moznei tzedek, avnei tzedek. Don't commit a perversion of justice with measures, weights, true scales, true weights, true ephod, true what's going on? What mitzvah is this? Or what lo taseh is this? What is God telling me? Who's He talking to? Come on, guys. Who's He talking to?
The businessman.
A merchant. Go to a businessman. What's He telling a businessman not to do? Don't cheat. That's how they cheated in those days. We can cheat like that today also. How do they cheat? The guy sells a pound of sugar, right? He has a rock that's supposed to be a pound. So he he plays games. The rock is not really a pound. The rock is what, 3/4 of a pound. He sells it for a pound. He's making a quarter off the I call it profit. It's not called profit. That's called stealing, by the way. You know they're stealing in business. You know. 100%. Makes sense, right? Anybody see what I see at the end of Lamed Vav?
Mitzrayim.
I took you out of Mitzrayim. You got to be kidding. What does that have to do with not cheating in business? Girls, jump up. Now you know the answer to everything. It has everything to do with not cheating in business. Why are you cheating in business? Because you don't think you're going to have enough money. So God says, are you kidding? Put the bag down. You're in my cart. You think if you're going to cheat, you're going to get more money? You're going to get less money if you cheat. That's what God says. That's Yetziat Mitzrayim. I run the world. So yesterday I had a conversation. I'll put it on tape, but I don't know if I don't know what I'm talking about. So last night we had some parents come here registration. So I spoke to somebody who has a tremendous amount of work in China. And I asked him, what's going on? And he bemoaned the fact that people are losing a lot of money. Because for those who are not aware, people manufacture their goods in China, and they're not able to manufacture. So one of them mentioned to me, I'm just throwing this out, it wasn't mine. A few months ago, there's a man called Donald Trump, and he hired the tariffs for China. That step forced certain business people to find other places to do their factories. Now, I know Trump thinks he's God, but I don't know if that's the way it works. Is that fascinating?
Yes.
Food for thought. Food for thought. It's just sometimes you have to take a step back at the world. One of the most impressive things, now I don't want to say his name, even though it's a beautiful thing. I was going to one of the trips to Israel, and he was on the plane with me. And he does, I think, investments. I think that's what he does. And, I can go further with the descriptions. I don't want to say who it is. But he had taken somebody who graduated from here into his business. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking through a certain magazine, and I see this person doing his own thing.
What you doing?
Doing his own thing. Not under this guy. So I said to him, he goes, yeah. He went and took some of my clients. That's a big no. That's a big no. You want to run a business, start your own business. Don't steal other people's clients and undercut. But that's what the guy did. So I said to the person, aren't you resentful? He goes, I promise this is what he told me. A regular guy from the community. He goes, God runs the world. God runs the world. He says, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Obviously, if you're going to sit home and be unemployed, you're not going to make a living. We discussed this. I'm not going to go through the, having to do your work. But once something is happening, he says, do I think I'm going to lose business because I'm a nice guy? No. You might prove me wrong now because I do not have a statistic. I don't have it in hand. But I don't recall ever having a conversation in a long-term effect with somebody who said to me, because I'm Shomer Shabbat, I'm not successful. I don't remember that conversation. You could prove me wrong. You could tell me my husband is. I don't know. I do recall this. I do recall people telling me, I'm giving a lot stuck up because I believe the more I give, the more I'm going to get back. Also, obviously, somebody believes in something. I don't think it's superstition. I think they believe that. God looks at us, and if we're doing the right thing, he's going to bless us. And if we're not supposed to make that deal, then we're not going to make the deal. Okay. I pounced this enough. Got it? Which brings me to one of my favorite questions in the world. What is the 10th Dibra? The 10th commandment.
Lo sachmot.
Lo tachmot. I don't think that's fair for God. It's not fair. Okay, let's go through the Dibra. Believe in God. Got it. Don't believe in Avodah Zarah. Got it. Keep Shabbat. Got it. Honor your parents. Got it. Don't kill. I got that. Don't lie. I got that. Don't be immoral. Got it all. And now you're telling me, don't be jealous. Come on, God. It's impossible. Where does the path to not jealousy work? So some people are so perturbed by this Dibra, some rabbis, some commentators, they say, you know what? You're not doing the sin if you think it, only if you act on the thought. So if I walk in, let's make this a little light. I walk into a party and this girl's wearing a dress much nicer than I am. So if I'm saying, oh my gosh, that's not the sin. But if I tip the punch bowl on her dress, that's an issue. Oh, you've had that experience? So some people say that. Some people say that. But not all. How can God demand, how do I control myself? I'm jealous. It's not like the worst thing to be jealous, right? I'm jealous. You know what the answer is? The first and the last he brought are bookends. Usually bookends, beginning and the first complements the last. Let's go back. What's the first he brought? I am God who took you out of Mitzrayim. If you needed this, you would have gotten it. If you don't have it, it's not for you. And that's all. Why would I be jealous of something that doesn't fit me? It just doesn't fit me. A rabbi once told me this is the most simplistic example, and it's really not that deep or inspirational. I'm sitting in I'm going to take ice cream. I'm assuming that's a pretty good thing around this table, around this room. No, you don't like ice cream? Want to go for Chinese food? Fun One Guy, I'm into it. You guys know what Fun One Guy is?
Yes.
Fantastic. But not now. I'm on tape. Ice cream. There's an ice cream party. I love ice cream. So I'm sitting at the ice cream party, and I had one bowl. Can I have another? Sure. Can I have another? Sure. I had 5 bowls of ice cream. I am now milchiks till next year. I'm dairy forever. I've had it. The guy next to me is eating his 6th bowl. What am I feeling?
Jealous.
Really? I'm jealous? Why am I jealous? I could have if I want, but I don't want it anymore. Because my stomach can't handle it anymore. It can't. That's what this means. You don't need this. It's not for you. I'll get an extreme. Okay, what I'll take. I love herring. And herring hates me. I love it. I still do it. I just take a lot of it. You know. I could sit at a kiddush, right? And watch a guy eat 40 plates of herring. Now, I'm jealous, but I'm so not. Because for some reason, the way my stomach or my whatever was created, I can't deal with that. So why would I be jealous? I mean, I do have the desire, but I know it's not good for me. Money. Not everything is great with money. And not everybody does well with money. So I want to show you something I already said, but I want to show you. Look at the pasuk, and then we'll go. Look what it says. Lo tachmod bet re'acha. Got it? But it doesn't end there. I did this right. Lo tachmod eshet re'acha. Avdo, amato, that's his servants. His horse, his cow, that would be his car. And his donkey. Anybody here jealous of your friend's donkey, by the way? See, look at tzaddikim. We're tzaddikim, and no one's jealous of his friend's donkey. Amazing. And then it says, v'chol asher l'reach. If you were, and everything your friend has. If you were an English teacher, what would you immediately take out your red pen and say what? If you're going to end your sentence by saying everything your friend has, you don't have to list all the things that you shouldn't be jealous. Correct? Either list all of them or just say all. Anybody remember? And the answer is, what you see is not what you think is happening. Everything a person has comes with a price tag. Everything. Everything. A lot of kids is beautiful. It comes with a price tag. A big house is beautiful. It comes with a price tag. I'll never forget. We know we didn't come from money at all. We're immigrants. One of my very close friends had a lot. Both got married. And I see him very stressed. And he's bemoaning the fact that he's stressed money-wise. I'm like, yeah, okay. Why are you stressed? Well, he's got to pay the maids. I'm dead serious. He's got 2 houses. He's got trips for every vacation possible. And he's got to make the payments. And I'll tell you another part. I'm not putting down people who have money. It's great. Except for the guys who are. But yeah. The pressure of a person who has money to have to stay on that status level, I'll tell you what it's similar to. You know who are the most stressed students in this school? The 100 students. You take the kids who don't get hundreds, they're having a great time. I'm serious. They're loving it. I got an 87. I'm a party animal. That's who I want to be. The kids will sit there like this, and is this on the test? Is this on the test? Is this on the test? I got 50 emails.
My son.
Because if they dare drop from 100 to 98, psych is it. So look at life that way. Maybe I'm not a person who can handle such stress in a financial world. Maybe not. Maybe it's not so healthy for me. Maybe it's not good for my shalom bayit. You know how many stories, and again, I'm not. Everybody should be well and healthy. Why don't you look up? Now you're so busy tonight. You have to Google so much tonight. Why don't you Google lottery winners who went bad? Google it.
All of them. All of them.
I can't say all. I can't say that. Google it. All of a sudden they run into money. We dream. We want to have this money. $1 on a dream. I'm dreaming. And here they went, and their whole life went down the drain. Again, God bless them. God bless you. God bless everybody. But God is saying, "V'chol asher l'reyecha." People are different. Their lives are different. Their challenges are different. Don't be jealous. Make an effort. Good. Don't be jealous. And the sign on the bottom is, jealousy is there. Oh, yeah. Right. You're counting their blessings instead of yours. But that's why it's part of what? It's part of the tziyat. You guys got this whole thing what's going on? This is going to allow us. Oh, I have to move faster. We're going to be like always the loop on this. Okay. This is going to allow us one of the most famous questions, which I always ask, but this is new. The answer is new. You're going to give me the answer. What is this week's parsha? What is the first word in this week's parsha?
Eileh.
Doesn't say Eileh.
Ve'ela.
It says Ve'eileh. What did God do wrong? Come on. You got a 98 and you get 100. What did God do wrong? No. There's not one English teacher in this room. Started a sentence with. Not only did he start the sentence with it, he started the whole parsha with it. So Vav says that you are, what's a Vav? Vav HaMechaber, and it's a conjunction. Says Rashi, we'll do the English, right? These is separate from what has been said previously, and these, you with me in Rashi, is added to what has been said. Just as been said previously, that the 10 Commandments came from what? From Sinai, which means God is the one who gave the stuff, so too what's about to happen. Because what's happening in this week's Parsha? Business. This is all business. This guy, his ox hit my ox. There was a hole, there was a fire, there was, don't take interest. This is all this week's parsha. All of this causes me to say, why me? You want to hear an unbelievable psychological story? Okay, it just came to me, so I always learn if it falls in, I have to say, for elevation, over something. True story. A shochet came to a din Torah. Shochet came with a question, I'm sorry. My father-in-law, may rest in peace, was a shochet. This is serious stuff. Today, by the way, it's not such a challenge. I don't know if you know it. The butchers go to a regular, there's no Hasidic farm. You know, they don't keep cows, they pay off. You know, they go to a regular slaughterhouse and they give them an opportunity to slaughter, and if it's kosher, they buy it. You understand? And if it's not kosher, they give it back to them. So it's not the biggest thing if it's not kosher. You follow? I don't know if you understand what I just said. They don't lose money.
Yeah.
But in those days, the butcher, the shochet, bought the animal. Think about it, guys. An animal was a lot of money, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And then he would slaughter it, and if it wasn't kosher, it's a huge loss. So the man bought the cow, I guess, whatever it was, shechted it, and he had a question. Wasn't sure if it was kosher. He went to the rabbi, and he looked at it, and he said, it really hurts me to tell you, it's not kosher. A lot of money. Okay, rabbi says it's not kosher. I believe in you, believe in God. Let's move. 2 weeks later, this same shochet had a din Torah with one of his tenants about rent. It was like a $25 situation, $50. And they went to the rabbi. And the rabbi said the halacha against this shochet. He went bananas. You call this a rabbi? You call yourself a rabbi? You call this a beit din? You're cheating, you're lying, fake news. The Talmidim asked the rabbi, we don't understand human behavior. Tell us, Rabbi. The guy 2 weeks ago lost hundreds of dollars. He accepted it quietly. Today, he's cursing you out. He smiled and he goes, don't you know? A few weeks ago, he lost the $500. Okay. But this time, he got the 25? That I can't. That's human nature. That I should lose the 25 and he not? I know what that's like. I drive a car. This guy got away with it and I didn't. First thing I tell a cop, if I get stopped, but everybody's doing it. But you're wrong. Yeah, but he got away with it. So if everybody gets nailed, I feel better? I guess. Should we talk about my life more? No. Okay, so that's the issue here. Ve'ela. Whatever is going to happen in this week's parsha are all din Torahs. Accept it. If that's what the Torah says, that's how it is. Another reason why it says Ve'ela, I'm going to do this really quick, because I really want to get to one specific thing. I love the other reason, and this next reason is so important in life, and I'm going to gloss through it. I'm not running through it because I'm afraid of controversy. I'm never afraid of controversy. I welcome controversy. And you should bring this up at home because it's a very important topic. Wow, what an intro. Here it goes. Okay. There's chukim and there's mishpatim. What are chukim?
Rules that are not explicable.
Right. They're explicable, but I might not understand. Shotness. Here you go. See this? Cost me $12 and he tore up my suit in 40 places. I buy a suit, I go to Coney Island Avenue across the street from Chaim Berlin, Zundel Berman bookstore, the back of Zundel Berman, Rabbi Harari, you know, he's the cutest guy. So they have a little factory in the back, they're not selling drugs, they're doing shotness check. If this jacket would have had wool and linen together, I'm not allowed to wear it. That is the classic chok. I can give you reasons. I can tell you God doesn't, He created things, don't put them together. But it is a classic hook. I don't have a solid, let's put it this way. If I wake up in the morning and not have anything to do with God, would I not wear shotnez? No. It's not going to bring me this. I have no moral feeling for shotnez. Even kosher, unless you want to say kosher is not healthy, right? Kosher is a chatzi chok, right? There are a bunch of chukim. But the name of the parsha is not called Eila Chukim. They're called what? Oh, nice. You know what a mishpat is? A mitzvah that makes sense. A mitzvah that makes sense. I said mitzvah, so you know what I said. Yeah. A mitzvah that makes sense. I got it. A mitzvah that's logical, and a mitzvah that you would call, give me the word, moral. Moral. Don't kill, of course. Of course. I wouldn't kill. Don't steal, of course. No. Agreed? This week is Mishpatim. God says, I love it. Ve'er. I gave stuff in Sinai. I also gave these. Why is that so important? So I want you to look at an unbelievable pasuk at 11. I just said what it's been. I want you to go home and discuss this pasuk with whoever you want to discuss it with. Again, God is speaking in this pasuk. Asitem et chukotam. Do my chukim. Right? Keep them. Then mishpatai tishmeru vasitem. Whoa. You know how we are in this class. We are nitpickers. God doesn't do something for nothing. What would make more sense, girls? Asitem et chukotai et mishpatai. No? No?
Yeah.
You're not convinced?
Yeah.
Clearly God is giving me a message. Do the chukim, but keep and watch the mishpatim and do them. What are we worried about? So let's take a look. Chukim said do by chukim, right? Why the change in verb from do to God? The interpretation is that the main test for temptation when it comes to chukim is that they just don't make sense. There's no logic. Theoretically, to observing laws of Sha'al, he says, Shatnez of Kashrut, which means, ask a person, why are you putting on tefillin in the morning? What is he saying? Because it's a mitzvah, because God said so, in order for me to connect to God. Agree to disagree? Yeah. Why am I doing Shatnez? That's chukim. Do the chukim. The challenge is, even though you don't understand it, It's because you believe in God. Yeah? Excellent. Look at the next paragraph. However, by Mishpatim, there is a different test. Everyone knows it is not right to steal or kill. So what's the test? The test is not to go ahead and put parameters on the law based on our own understanding. The reason for this law must be such and such. It's a huge danger. I'd like to tell you a conversation I had last Wednesday. The young student, male or female, was caught cheating. I said, is cheating right? No. Is it wrong? But I had a right to cheat. Why? Because the teacher's not fair. New Torah. Teacher's not fair. The teacher's a cheater, by the way. He's right to a degree. The teacher said the test is on chapter 1. I'm just making up the chapter. 1, 2, and 3. And he asks questions from chapter 4. Teacher's wrong. But that doesn't mean you have a right to cheat. Got it? That's what happens when we take Mishpatim out of God's hands and puts it into our hands.
We rationalize.
Absolute. Morality is in the hands of the people who rationalize. Is the biggest danger. Okay, I've said this a million times. I want to say it 1,000,001 times. Why don't you open the news and listen to the presidential campaign of what all of a sudden is 100% okay now. It's 100% okay. I'm going to say it openly. I'm really sorry. You want to vote for a president who's married to a man? It's okay now. It's okay. It's allowed. Because it's nice now. There's a Torah here that tells us what's accepted and what's not accepted. Gone. I could steal from this man because he steals in business. I'm going to show him a lesson. Nice. You're wrong. One of my favorite exercises in class is in discussing this concept. Is I make up a scenario. Try it at home. Try it on a Friday night table. Make up a scenario. This is a scenario I made up. I don't know if you want to do this because there's violence involved. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, you hear noise, and you look out the window, and you have a legal shotgun, and you hear somebody stealing your car. Or you see somebody. How many boys in this class, usually boys, more than girls, how many guys here would shoot the guy? About 2 people raised their hand. I said, you'd actually shoot the guy not to steal your car? Yeah, I would shoot. That's the right thing? Absolutely. You shouldn't be stealing my car. I change up the scenario. I heat it up a little bit. I go, he's stealing your car and kidnapping somebody. But we know for a fact he's not going to hurt the person. He just wants money. How many people would shoot the person? 3, 4 more people raised their hand. I'm going to tell you something funny, which is very sad. Then I heat it up again and I go, he's kidnapping your sister. No one raises their hand.
That's okay.
It's a true story. No one raised their hand.
I don't believe it.
I don't
Believe
believe
it.
it.
But it gets a laugh. Okay. Do you see what I'm doing? After 10 minutes of this crazy discussion, I mean, you could do something similar without shooting, you know? What did we learn from this 10-minute discussion? That morality is so subjective, it is frightening. Frightening. How many people in this government now say, let's kill a baby?
Oh my God.
60 years ago, ask somebody if you're allowed to perform an abortion. Ask. I'm talking legal. Illegal. I'm not giving opinions, but you know my opinion. But I'm not giving an opinion. How can something that's right or wrong change in 40 years? And tell me, how did that work? How did that work? If it's morally wrong, it's morally wrong. If it's morally right, it's morally right. That's what happens when you don't have a Vav in Mishpatim. And it's a very important lesson. That don't just say that Shabbat is from God. Of course you should, by the way, I don't want you to get the wrong thing. The Rambam openly said, the Rambam, famous philosopher, openly says, can a Jew say that I have a Yetzer Hara to do a sin? You know, is that okay to have a Yetzer Hara? See, he said, it is very okay to say, whoa, would I love that cheeseburger? You know, I would really love, but I'm not going to do it because God said so. That's normal. That's 100%. But if you say, I really would love to kill somebody, but God said no, you have a problem, says the Rabbi. So there's nothing wrong, of course, with it being a morality inside and a good feeling. But it can't end there. And the reason I'm saying this is so controversial, and I'm going to say it, and I'll say it on tape, and I'm not judging people, but when I start talking to people about being religious and stuff, one of the things thrown back at me is, but he's a good person. You want to compare it to the other guy who steals in business and he goes to shul every morning? Okay, so first of all, I'm not comparing. I didn't say it. They're both wrong, and they're both right. But having a person who's only a good person because they think it's a good thing to be a good person, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But I do think there's a danger there. There are so many stories in Tanakh that people felt this is the right thing to do. Should I throw you something? I'm going to throw you two tough ones. One tough and one very tough. I want you to think about it when you go home. And I hope you come back again. My father used to teach me. Sodom had rules. Do you know why Sodom was Sodom? My father used to teach me. They decided, why are we sharing our wealth with other people? We need to take care of ourselves. They were a very wealthy town. They had a very successful pasture. If we're going to let foreigners come in and take our stuff, we will have nothing. So their rule was, what belongs to me belongs to me. And have a good day. No welfare state. No helping others. I could see a meeting. I could hear that. You can't hear that at all. Okay, here's the one that's really going to throw you. I'm really sorry. I want you to think about it, because I read a lot about this. I got to take a drink before I actually say it, okay? No, this is water. Go on. It always fascinated me how a certain madman got people to do terrible things. You don't understand. I do people. I don't know if everybody else does in business. People are my life. Kids are my life. It doesn't make sense to me. I believe in people's good. I really do. Do I think there are certain crazy people in the world? Oh, absolutely. And that man was crazy. Whatever made him be who he was. But millions of people who got up in the morning and put people in ovens. How did that work? In my humble opinion, he convinced people that they're doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
That's how it works. And that's what happens when you make your own morality.
That's what's happening now.
Yeah. I'm convinced that the world is better without you. I'm convinced that, whatever. Okay, I don't have to go through girls. You know what I'm talking about. This is how dangerous this is. I know, I pulled that card, but think about it. That's how human behavior can be warped without divine interference. You have to say, Torah's Torah. Okay. Can we do another page and end on a higher note? No, it's really important. Okay, brand new. I'm so excited because I've never done this and I just found it. And next time you go to a wedding, you're going to remember me. Okay? And it's really beautiful. Brand new. Listen carefully. So first of all, there's a crazy thing. Do you know that in this week's Parsha, it starts by telling us if somebody acquires a slave. Slavery was an accepted situation. You guys know about it? I'm talking about a Jewish slave. A Jewish slave.
Yes.
Now, how did he become a Jewish slave? He stole and he couldn't pay back. Or he himself needed money.
Indentured.
Okay. Everybody with me. That's what Eved Ivri. You guys remember, right? Chumash? Freshman year Chumash. Right, okay. Shari, remember freshman year Chumash? You don't remember? You were in my class. You were in my class. You got 100. So it says something really interesting. So first of all, just fascinating, and then I'll tell you something that I hope you go home and tell everybody. So the Torah tells us, Pasukim, in Bigapo Yabo, you see it? Bigapo Yabo? Yeah? Bigapo Yetze. If he comes in alone, he goes out alone. What does that mean? That means if he is sold as a slave and he is single, he goes out. Which is he's not getting married in between. Let me tell you why that's important. For many reasons. In Bali Shahu, which fascinates me, if the guy is sold as a slave and he's married with kids, V'yatza ishto imo. I'm laughing because he's going to tell you what's about to happen. That and his wife leaves. What do you mean leaves? How did she get in the first place? You know what we learned from that? That if a guy owes me money and he has to work it off because he'll be my slave, guess who pays for his wife and kids for the 6 years? mean. What a deal. Can you imagine? The guy owes money, he's married, so the Torah says it's not jail. He owes money, let him work it off. But he's got a wife and kids. You have to make a living that means you have to get a house or an apartment for his wife and kids, pay their tuition. I got to be nuts to get a slave. I mean, that's insane. Can you imagine? That's not what the cute thing. You ready for cute? So bigapo means a law, right? Girls, what's the roots? What's the show? Goof. That's what I would say. Goof. No, that's a goof. In bigufo, he's only with what? His own body. Nice. Look what Rashi says. Fascinating. Rashi says, meaning that he was not married. Everybody sees it? The expression bigapo means with his shirt. It says skirt or shirt? Skirt. Okay. It's his clothes. The guy's dressed differently, doesn't he? No. Skirt. A gaf. A gaf is like this, like a thing. That he came only, which means, according to Rashi, girls, the Torah is equating having a shirt or a longer shirt, right? His shirt means what? Not married. Their shirt means married. Guess what I found? This is a source why the boy covers the girl with the talit when he gets married. Yep. Why? Because when you're alone, you only have to cover your own body. But when you get married, you're not responsible to cover two bodies. I loved it. You don't like it? I'm so excited. Yakis do it too.
They do?
Yakis do it too.
Yakis, but
Yakis
that's
do
it.
it too. The truth
Yakis
is,
aren't real.
Time out. Yakis aren't real?
Yakis
That's what you
aren't.
said? Did you say yakis aren't real? You're on tape, honey. First of all, I want to back up for a second. First of all, everybody agrees that there's a chuppah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's part of it. I'm taking her under my wings. So look at this saying. The goal in marriage is not to think alike, but to think together. And I want to tell you something that I saw. Somebody sent me a very interesting analysis of twins who were connected. I can't remember the name. And they interviewed this pair, I guess, not a couple, this pair. And the pair said that what they learned in life is a very important life lesson. When they were young, they learned that it was annoying because I wanted to do this and she wanted to do this. So I went where I didn't want to go. But in life, I learned as I got older that sometimes you have to go where the other person wants to go, and that's okay. I love that lesson. I think this is what it's teaching us. That when you have your own coat, you're warming up yourself. You only care about yourself. But once you share a coat, then you have to worry about where the other person wants to go to. I think it's a very important lesson in life, and it's from Big Apple. Good? Sold? Nice. Okay. Now, the main event, and it's 2:04. Here it goes. I want an hour for this. I want you to go home and tell your kids this. In this week's Parsha, it says, I want to give you a number. If you tell your kids not to do something 10 times, how do you feel? You think you said it enough?
Yeah.
You think you made your point? How about 20 times? How many times God says this in the Torah? 24. 24 times. You think God's pretty upset about these things? Veger lo toneh. Do not oppress a convert. Says Rashi. Says the Gemara. It's not only talking about a convert. Trust me on the next page if you don't trust me. It's the last of that sentence here. Rashi is that the word ger is not referring to a convert. Are you ready for this? It refers to any stranger who's new to a community and has no friends. It says it. Kid walks into high school and he sees other kids without friends. Do not bother this person. Do not make tricks on this person. Do not say things that make the person feel lonely. God says this. I didn't say it. Why? Because you were a ger in Mitzrayim. No, you're not leaving until I finish this. Next page. Don't bother a widow. Don't bother a yatom. Girls, I don't know who I'm talking to, so I don't want to make anybody feel bad. You don't know how sensitive this issue is. How rabbis over the years, especially when it came to money, there are stories where people whose parents died young and other people in our life took advantage of their ignorance and ripped them off. That is I'm crying. It's the biggest sin in the Torah. 24 times God says, you take advantage of the yatom? Who are you? An almanah? A widow? It's a big deal. But I want to go a little further. You ready? I hope you like this, and you're not leaving until I do this. Because it says, because we were gay women in the tribe. Okay? I want to do two things. So the Perush Pashut is, Mum Shebecha Al Toman Chavercha. It's Rashi. That means if what? If there's something wrong with people in glass, he says people in glass houses, we are a whole nation, we're slaves, we are immigrants, we're all boats, right? You're going to make fun of somebody who's a stranger? That makes sense, right? Which, by the way, teaches us, and you know this, I learned this from Abi Wahaftik. Somebody tell me they remember Abi Wahaftik. I hope. Okay. Abi Wahaftik taught me, you know this, right? Try this at home, it's a lot of fun. When you point a finger at somebody, there are 3 fingers pointing back at you. Check yourself 3 times before you point at somebody else. You're not so hot to yourself. But here's the one, and this is it. We'll end with this. Ready? What did I tell you Yetziat Mitzrayim means? What did I teach? What did we teach today? Yetziat Mitzrayim means who runs the world. I would like to offer, and I'll tell you the nicest saying that I saw in a long time. Great saying. First, let me tell you, don't look at the saying yet, and we'll end with the saying. If I go through a certain challenging situation, maybe I was supposed to learn something from that situation. If I go through something that's difficult, let's take an easy one. I'll take an easy one. Kid came to school, he was a new kid, and he felt it. 2 years later, he's the hot kid, and a new kid comes in. He should know that. He should know that. You know what it feels like. You should have learned from this experience. I'm going a little over the board here. And who knows why God gave me these challenges? Do you know how many institutions, girls, are built on people who went through difficult challenges? Because they understood what that means? Just look at Shalva. Shalva is a place that services 1,000 special needs kids. Where did it come from? It came from parents who had a problem with a child. I'm not saying that's why God did. I don't run the world. But we have to learn from our experiences. If something hits us, it's hit us, and we should learn from hitting us. And that's what we have to teach our kids. If you ever felt something, know how another kid feels. Understand how another kid feels. Have you ever felt, we go sometimes, we talk about poverty. God bless our kids, they never feel poverty. Maybe once, don't give them allowance. Let me see what happens. I'm dead serious. One day, take away their Uber Eats cards. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. One day, let the person go without able to order something. See how they feel. And then say, this is how kids feel in this world. It's a big deal. Look at the saying. The kids are about to come in, so watch. Look at the saying on 6. How beautiful it is. Someone will always throw stones in your path. It depends on you what you make with them. A wall or a bridge. Remember, you are the architect of your life. Build a good one. Beautiful, no? Everybody's afraid of you guys. I don't know why there aren't 400 kids running in here right now. The bell rang. Yeah. Yes. Does anybody know how to close this? No. Do you know how to close this?
What's the difference?
No, I don't need.
What's the difference between Donald Trump and God?
Yeah.
God doesn't think he's Donald Trump.
I love that. You know what they say? I give you.
Think whatever.
All right.
I have no idea.
When it
Sorry.
says
I
the
don't know.
almana and the...
Yeah, let me just
tried to
close
close
this.
it, couldn't do it.
Does anybody know how to close this?
On the side, try
On the side, on the side.
Try the side.
On the side. Okay.
Got it?
No.
I don't know.
Why doesn't it say, which says the almana, the yasam? Why doesn't it say the grusha also?
No, because usually who are the people that are taken? It says, Rashi says, it's anybody.